Why settle for less when you can see more with Flow? With Flow's digital video service, you get more channels, more customizable video packages, more flexibility with your personal video recorder, pause, rewind, and record your favorite shows. In other words, we give you more so you can really enjoy the bigger picture.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
This is CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for May 13th to May 16th, 2013. It was the week in which there was another delay in the start of the coroner's inquest into the death of Oscar Bartholomew. Dominicans voiced their opposition to the appointment of Ali Gill as magistrate in their country, and the Spice Mass Corporation revealed there will be no Queen show for Spice Mass 2013. In sports, Grenada jumps 20 places in FIFA World Football Rankings. Details when we return.
Have you heard the great news?
Of course! Now you can talk as you like with Flow.
When we sign up right now for Flow's Talk As You Like, we can each get a free cordless phone.
Now I can talk to my friends and family on landlines in over 50 international destinations.
Plus, I can also talk to all my contacts in the USA, Canada, and India on landlines or mobile.
Sign me up. I'm going to talk as I like with Flow. Flow. Watch. Talk. Click.
I am Kirani James, and Co-op Bank is my bank.
If prosperity really matters to you, come home to Grenada Cooperative Bank. Since 1932, we have shared the same values: financial diligence, investing with prudence, transparent compliance, consistent performance.
Welcome home, Grenada.
No matter the economic climb, we always stand the test of time.
Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that goes the extra mile. Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that serves with a smile.
Welcome to a bank you can truly call your own. Grenada Cooperative Bank.
We care because you matter.
Welcome home. It's a popular belief that all windows and doors are the same. But at St. Lou Metal, we know the difference. With true Grenadian craftsmanship and precision that gives the best quality and low guaranteed prices, you have a wide variety of windows and doors to choose from. Skylight windows, 2-half kitchen doors, aluminum doors with window inside and screen. We are the doors and windows people. St. Lou Metal, building number 19, Frequente Industrial Park. Call 439-6538.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams. A Grenadian who lived in Canada returned home for what was his last Christmas holiday almost 2 years ago, as he died after a violent incident at the St. David police station. 5 policemen were charged for his death, but more than a year later the charges were dropped as the court ruled there should be a coroner's inquest, and those involved in the case are still waiting for the start of that matter.
The coroner's inquest into the death of Oscar Bartholomew in 2011 again failed to get underway in the St. David's Magistrate Court, as the matter was adjourned for the second time due to the absence of lawyers and jurors being found unsuitable to hear the case. The inquest was first scheduled to get underway on April 5th, but was adjourned as lawyers chose instead to attend the funeral of their colleague, the late Professor Simeon McIntosh. On Monday, only one of the lawyers representing 5 policemen involved in the matter was present at the court. Dr. Francis Alexis QC, who was the only member of the policeman's legal team in attendance, expressed his discontent at the second adjournment of the proceedings.
What happened was that some of the lawyers are out of state. Mr. Clauden is out of state. He has official business with the government of the United States of America, which could not have been put back. Also, one of the lawyers, Mr. Hood, is now, so to speak, in the employ of the state, and he therefore can no longer represent the three persons he had been representing before. He has called in a new lawyer, but that lawyer, Mr. Douglas, is out of state unavoidably. I want to emphasize the point that the lawyers are taking this matter very seriously. I was at the Court of Appeal all week in the British Virgin Islands last week, and I had other business in Barbados. I cut short my business abroad to be here just for this morning. But because Mr. Clouden and Mr. Douglas are unavoidably out of jurisdiction, we had no alternative but to adjourn the proceedings.
Attorney at law Cajetan Hood had to stand down from the case as he is now Attorney General, and the other lawyers were not in attendance, Dr. Alexis says, due to official business overseas. He disclosed additional reasons for the adjournment of the inquest, including busy schedules of the lawyers involved and other legal precedents.
It could not have been earlier because the assizes are going on, and Mr. Clouden and Mr. Douglas are key defense counsel in the assizes, and therefore they cannot be available before that day, the 26th of August.
Dr. Alexis also revealed that 2 of the jurors were excused from the proceedings and will have to be replaced.
2 of the jurors asked to be excused for very good reasons, and they have been excused, so that the preliminary work of cleaning the jurors list could not have been completed before today. Furthermore, the coroner is leaving room for any other interested person to step forward. Don't want it being said this person didn't know, that person didn't know. So for all of those reasons, we had no alternative but to have the coroner's inquest adjourned as it has been adjourned.
Okay. Of the 15 jurors called to attend court on Monday, only 7 were there. The case has been adjourned until August 26. Wayne Francis Wright, CC6 Newsnight.
It took almost 2 hours for the all-clear to be given on Tuesday morning following an emergency evacuation of the ministerial complex due to a spark in the building's AC unit, which resulted in the smell of smoke as employees reported to work.
Hundreds of public workers were evacuated from the ministerial complex on Thursday morning as smoke emanated from the second floor of the 6-story building. The incident occurred at around 8 a.m. as workers reported to their daily duties at the complex. Receptionist attached to the Ministry of Work, Sean Charles, spoke to the news team about what happened.
Upon being here this morning, I noticed everybody leaving the building. Upon inquiry, I recognized that some kind of smoke was coming from one of the areas. Couldn't see the smoke, but you could smell the smoke coming from the second floor somewhere. You know, there's no confirmed word where what it is though, but everybody has left the building and we out here waiting for word at this time.
Minister of Information, Senator Winston Garraway, explained to the media what caused the smoke and says it was nothing to be alarmed about.
There was no need for the alarm, but as is always, a fire is a serious thing. And in this period of the dry season and many talks of protection, we had to do what had to be done. And the AC unit within the second floor, the division of the lands department, we had a situation where a bearing went, and with the bearing going, the rubber within that shaft, the friction caused it to disintegrate, and we had some smoke coming out. That in itself would have created an alarm, and our staff would have been concerned. The people that service the AC unit would have been here, and they were able to ascertain the exact cause of the problem. So we have now shut down the AC unit and have been given the all clear to get back into the building.
President of the Public Workers Union, who works on the second floor, Adrian Francis, says Thursday's emergency has raised concerns about safety of workers.
Look, all the workers are standing outside here without anyone giving any directions or where to go or what not to happen and when to. I would think that the fact is in the future, we should have on the way going forward, we should have a fire drill or whatever drill, disaster drill, as soon as possible. So persons could know where you have to go to. Have a place demarcated, mark evacuation point. So when something happens, everybody go to that point and you wait for further instructions. We don't know what cause of the smoke, but here everybody just mill around the building, vehicles are parked around the building. So I mean, this is consists of great concern. I mean, to myself and for my workers.
However, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Aaron Francois, says they have put measures in place to ensure workers' safety during an evacuation or other such emergencies.
See, there is a protocol for emergencies like these in terms of what should happen. Each ministry has a point person who is responsible for coordinating emergency evacuations, and so they need to alert everybody on the floor, make sure that they account for everybody, and to oversee that and make sure that everybody come out of the building. So from all indication that happened, because I saw almost everybody was outside the building while the firemen made their way and do their investigations.
The Information Minister says all other AC units in the building were inspected following the incident and no other immediate or obvious problems were detected. Workers were given the all clear to return to the building at around 10 a.m., 2 hours after the first smell of smoke began circulating the air. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
A local attorney is the subject of heated debate in a neighboring island as residents there expressed their disapproval with his proposed appointment to a key position in their justice system.
Former Minister of Government and a senator in the last National Democratic Congress administration, Ali Gill, has been appointed one of 2 magistrates on the neighboring island of Dominica. According to reports on various websites, last Thursday, Dominica's Attorney General Levi Peterson said the island has been operating with 4 magistrates for some time and occasionally received assistance from private attorneys. However, the appointment of Gill and Bernard Paquet, a former Dominican police officer, will make up the full complement of magistrates. A news item on the website, thedominican.net, says Gill's appointment takes effect June 1st, while Paquet already commenced his duties on May 1st. But according to the website, the news has not gone down well with the people of that country. Their reaction to Gill's appointment has been described as angry, as Gill was recently in that country on the political platform of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and the move is being viewed as a political favor. While addressing the crowd, the report said, Gill is said to have remarked that Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit was the greatest Caribbean leader since Morris Bishop of Grenada. CC6 Newsnight learned from highly placed confidential sources in Dominica that the former Grenadian senator is often the guest of PM Skerrit when he visits that country, and the two are known there to be close friends. Dominican.net reports as well that anger at Gill's appointment is also as a result of his support of remarks made by Prime Minister Skerrit about the supremacy of the country's constitution after he won a court battle contesting his legitimacy to run in the last general election due to his nationality. Dominicans also say they are local lawyers with qualifications far superior to Gill's who could have been considered for the job of magistrate. Gill was appointed senator and served as Minister of Information, Information Technology and Culture in the Tillman Thomas administration before his senatorial appointment was revoked and he was promised an ambassadorial posting which never materialized. He was later expelled from the NDC along with 9 others during a period of upheaval for the party, which months later lost the general election in a clean sweep to Dr. Keith Mitchell's new National Party. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
When we return, GTAU members vote to amend Constitution.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better, full stop.
Digicel makes you smile. Free SMS, free international and local. Free magic number calls, extra credit when you top up 10 or more, and get rewarded for your top up. Digicel gives you more to keep you smiling. Get free SMS when you top up with $10. Magic number calls when you top up with $15. Free international once you top up with $20. Free local calls to all Digicel number. Extra credit for Digicel makes you smile. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
The future, the gifted, the talented, the showdown. On Wednesday, 29th May, over 15 of Grenada's private primary schools will meet at the National Stadium for the showdown.
Y'all ready for this?
The Ribena-sponsored private primary schools athletic championship at the National Stadium, Wednesday, 29th May, starting time 10 a.m. Can anyone defeat defending champions, the Grenada Junior Academy? Time will reveal. Be there. Children $3, adults $10. The future Olympians will be on show Wednesday, 29th May. The Ribena-sponsored private primary school athletic championship in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Welcome back. 35 amendments to the constitution of one of the country's biggest trade unions were voted on last week in a union-wide vote, and almost 90% of the ballots were cast in support of changes.
A total of 677 members of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union cast their ballots last Wednesday and Thursday as the organization sought to amend some 35 sections of the union's constitution. 594 workers voted in support of the amendments, while 82 voted against and 1 vote was spoilt. A 9-member constitutional committee met over the last 2 years and in its deliberations discussed all available proposals, and where there was consensus, the committee made recommendations that the General Council approved. The proposed amendments, which were then considered by the Triannual National Conference, the highest decision-making body of the union, were then ratified by a union-wide ballot, which included workers on the sister isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. In a recent interview with President General of GTAU, Chester Humphrey, he says the amendments to the union's constitution seek to deepen the democratic process within the union and to strengthen its participatory democracy.
The Constitution says if you're 3 months in arrears, you become unfinancial, and if you're 6 months in arrears, you lose membership. Well, that was when the union was confined just about 2 workplaces. But now that we have a large number of workplaces, including construction workers, sometimes in between jobs on a big project, a worker might be more than 3 months without a job waiting for something to happen. Bring these constitutional measures in line with a more modern day approach. So these are some of the changes. So for example, the union headquarters is fixed. Now assume we are going to place a new headquarters and it's fixed in the Constitution. So we are making an amendment which says that the headquarters is where it is registered, but at any other place that the management committee may from time to time. So it's these sort of functionary changes and some things that we, and then there were some old rates that existed. So in the event of insubordination or drunkenness of a meeting or disruptive behavior, the fine, I think, under the old Constitution was either $5 or $10, but that was since 1960 something. So we just amended those.
The amendments are to be registered with the Register of Trade Unions, after which they will form an integral part of the Constitution of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union. Mr. Humphrey says the last amendment to the TAU Constitution was ratified around 1990. GTAU boasts of a membership of over 3,000. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
One of the Carnival Queen shows that has not garnered much spectator participation over the years, the National Queen Show, will not be happening come August 2013, as the new chairman of the Spice Mass Corporation looks at ways of dealing with the difficult financial situation.
Spice Mass 2013 is scheduled to be launched on June 1st in Grenada, and information reaching CC6 Newsnight is that the launch will not take place at the National Stadium as in previous years, as a private company has already booked the venue for that date. The new venue is the Carnage in St. George's. Chairman of the Spice Mass Corporation, Otto Hostin, says, however, that the launch of Spice Mass on the Carnage will be different, and his team is presently conducting meetings with various stakeholders to ensure that the launch is impressive. The SMC chairman also confirmed to CC6 Newsnight that there will be no National Carnival Queen show this year. Instead, a private group will be hosting a regional pageant on August 3rd, which the SMC has endorsed. The SMC, he says, is looking at having the National Queen Show in the month of February during the independence celebrations. When asked about this change, he said it is a matter of finances and also the need for a serious search for Queen contestants who are versed in a number of disciplines and not just physical beauty. The Spice Mass Corporation, he says, is endeavoring to ensure that everything is in place for a smooth running of the carnival activities despite the financial constraints. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Spice Basket in Bolio will be the venue for the 11th Annual International Soca Awards in August, where the top artists in that genre will be officially recognized for their work in different aspects of the art form.
Grenada will be host to a number of regional stars on August 6th as the 11th International Soca Awards will be staged at the Spice Basket in Bolio. CEO of Soca Awards Limited Colin Jackman, via telephone on Wednesday, spoke with CC6 Newsnight about the event, which he says began in 2008.
This year, Grenada is going to witness one of the biggest, if not the biggest, for 2013 event, which is called the International Soca Awards.
The Soca Awards CEO says the idea came about in New York back in the day when he was an artist.
I, myself, Colin Jackman, used to go by the sobriquet CJ. I used to sing calypso, soca music. And among my peers, they all used to say, I want a Grammy, we would like to get a Grammy someday. I say, you know what, it's time for us to start our own Grammy. And I stopped singing and I started the International Soca Awards, which we started in New York.
The nominees include international soca star Machel Montano, Rihanna, Pitbull and Wyclef Jean. The nominees include international soca star Machel Montano, Rihanna, Pitbull and Wyclef Jean. However, Mr. Jackman says at the moment he is awaiting management's confirmation as to who will attend.
Machel Montano, Super Blue, Bunji Garlin, Destra, the Beaton Act, the Vinci Act. Artists from all over the place. We even have artists coming from as far as Japan.
The International Soca Awards 2013 will have economic benefits for Grenada, he says.
This is a marketing tool. We are promoting this as a soca vacation. I just told the name soca vacation. And when you get into the Caribbean now, you say you're going to a soca vacation. You're going on a soca vacation, whether you fly or whether you sail. And Grenada is the first stop. So we're talking about tourism here. We're talking about big promotion, tourism. A lot of tourists coming to the shores of the Spice Isle. Actually, we have the blessings and it's endorsed by Spice Mass Corporation, also the Minister of Culture, Mrs. Noel. It will be held at the spacious, and you know how beautiful Spice Basket is. So the event will be Tuesday, the 6th of August at the Spice Basket.
Voting for the nominees begins Friday, May 17th on SocaAwards.com and concludes on August 2nd. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in sports, national volleyball team in training for regional competition.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open up a yes.
In order that I should marry.
When did you jump, soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside him.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Grenada, you are being watched by the hardest hitting commentary team ever assembled, and they tell you as they see it every Monday at 8 p.m. on Community Channel 6. Watchdog.
Biting commentary.
A biting commentary. Repeat broadcast Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Biting commentary.
Welcome back. We kick off with football. Grenada is the most improved team in the latest FIFA rankings released last Thursday.
The Spice Boys, who was crowned Windward Islands football champions last month, jumped 20 places to 121 in the global rankings and 16 on the CONCACAF table. The improvement is attributed to the 2 victories in the Windward Islands Football Association tournament in St. Vincent. Grenada defeated the host country 1-0 and St. Lucia 2-1 to win the 3-team tournament following the withdrawal of Dominica after the tragic death of the team's coach and a player a few days before the tournament's kickoff. St. Vincent had the biggest drop in points by 35 and moved 10 places down the ladder in the rankings to 131. The next FIFA World Rankings will be published on June 6th.
Moving now to swimming. Public Relations Officer for the Grenada Amateur Swimming Association, Pamela Cherubin, says 2013 is full of activities for the nation's swimmers to get involved with.
Mrs. Cherubin, in a one-on-one interview with Sports on 6, says all the activities that have been planned for swimmers locally and regionally will benefit not just the swimmers but the nation as well.
National Swim on the 19th of will be in June, and we are inviting and asking every school to participate and get prepared because it's going to be exciting. And then in May we have a Brentford Swim Championship. Well, Brentford is going to Barbados for Barbados Invitational Swim Championship from the 20th to the 26th of May. Our children who are not qualified for CCCAN has an opportunity to qualify for CCCAN, which will be in Costa Rica.
While making her customary appeal for a proper facility to house the nation's swimmers, the PRO cited the urgency for swimmers to maintain their high standard at all times. She says far too often swimmers are leaving the sport due to the inadequacy of suitable equipment, training facilities, and locally hosted regional events.
And finally, in basketball, 17 young men are now in training with hopes of making the final cut of 12 for the national men's volleyball team headed off for their trip in Guadeloupe in June.
The team, who trains every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, is preparing to battle other members of their group Honduras, Dominica and host Guadeloupe in the second leg of the men's World Qualifiers tournament. Coach of the team, Rafael Nanan Braffet, says the players are working very hard to ensure they do well in Guadeloupe.
So far the preparation is very good. We have a big plus this year because we have a coach from Brazil, which is also assisting the national team. Right now we are training 3 days, Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. Monday we are in the Carnage and the other 2 days we are at Labaree. And so far we have 17 people, 17 boys in training, and that training session is going tremendously. I know that this year is going to be a very hard time for me to really select that final 12 players because everybody's looking really good. But I think we had to come real good too in order to upset these teams and them. And so far, I think if we go there and what I see in Grenada, if we go there and we execute it, I think that we'll do very well in this tournament.
He says they continue to receive support from the local Volleyball Association as well as the Ministry of Sports, who play an integral role in their preparation. The second leg of the men's World Qualifiers tournament is carded for June 14th to 18th in Guadeloupe. Meanwhile, senior volleyball coach Rafael Braffet, who once again have been tasked with coaching the national Windward Islands volleyball teams, says he's focused on bringing home the gold medal from this year's Windward Islands School Games. Mr. Braffet says to fulfill this objective, he has commenced early preparation with his teams for the upcoming July tournament. My
goal this year is to come first in both male and female. This is my goal, and I told the ministry that. I know that the ministry is on board with us, and I know that we started very early this year. What we do this year, that we're going into each parish, like different days. We go into the different parishes and have, what we do, we pick the best set of players from each parish out of that last tournament. And so far, I think it's going well. And what we plan to do now is this Saturday, we invite everybody down to the Carnage where we'll just have one practice.
He says there are some new additions to his male team. However, he is quite confident that they can bring home a victory.
There are a few young players this year because I think we're going to have the same female team, but the male team, there is space for about 4 players. And so far, I think I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing. I would say that the female team will be much better, I know, because they don't lose any players, but the male team lose about 4 players. But I honestly figure that team will be much better. It will be much better because the players, you have some players there right now, they're in national training and they didn't play in the school games, so I think there's a big plus for them where they get that national training, and I'm confident that we're going to win the tournament this year.
That's all we have for you in Sports on 6. A recap of the headlines is next. Recapping the headlines. It was the week in which there was another delay in the start of the coroner's inquest into the death of Oscar Bartholomew. Dominicans voiced their opposition to the appointment of Ali Gill as magistrate in their country, and the Spicemas Corporation revealed there will be no Queen Show for Spicemas 2013. In sports, Grenada jumps 20 places in FIFA World Football Ranking. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for May 13th to May 16th, 2013. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams, thanking you for joining us.